7:14 on a very pretty Tuesday morning. I want to welcome to the studios the Master Gardeners of Baxter County. We have Karen Tipton, Seal Gizecki, did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
And Phyllis Henley. Welcome, everybody. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So where do we start with the Master Gardeners of Baxter County?
Well, I get to start. I'm Karen Tipton, and we thought that people ought to know what a Master Gardener is. So let me tell you first that Master Gardeners are volunteers. And we work for the county extension agent, Mark Keaton. See, I remembered his name. Our mission is to help the county extension agent with homeowner questions. The Department of Agriculture sponsors the program in all 50 states, but each state program is administered only by the states, so we're part of the county extension service administered by the University of Arkansas.
Wow.
And the idea is that county extension agents are there to help people who want to grow things, and there are a lot of commercial growers. Their livelihood depends upon it. But there's so much information out there that those of us who are maybe new to Arkansas, or maybe just retired and need to grow things, or maybe want to get a garden growing to reduce our food bills on a small way, we also have a right to that information. So we're the volunteers who take the training and then help the county extension agent educate the public. Some of the ways we do that, well, we try to be good community citizens. We do that for children, at the library, in the schools. We do that for adults. We have information booths at some of the big box stores. We are on the square every Saturday in the summertime, first Saturday of the month, if people have questions. We are the ones who run and administer the horticulture room at the county fair in September.
Mm-hmm.
We do miscellaneous requests that come through the county extension agent if we possibly can. We do remind people making those requests that we are volunteers, and some of us are getting on in years. So we're not free labor. We're free information. Okay? We try to help people do things. For one of the things we did last year was that we helped prune the trees, the new trees at the Hackler School. We are doing programs in the schools. For instance, I'm going on Thursday to do a program on native plants for the second graders. We have demonstration gardens around the county, not just in Mountain Home. And we'd like to invite people to see those. So
where are they?
Seal, you're up.
We have 7 display gardens within the county. 3 of them are sponsored by the City of Mountain Home and funded by the City of Mountain Home. The Master Gardeners maintain the gardens, do all the planting, the weeding, the watering, all that kind of thing. The 3 in Mountain Home, the one that's probably the most visible is at what we call the Extension Office Garden. And people pass it by, and I'm sure they don't realize who's maintaining it. It's at the corner of 5 South and 62B, across from the sheriff's office. Okay, high visibility garden with a lot of seasonal interest. If you're kind of wondering what you can plant at a specific time of year where perhaps your garden has some difficulty, it's a good way to go and get some ideas where you can talk to the Master Gardeners if you see them working, or just stop by and park in the old police station parking lot and take a look and walk around, okay? But that's in high visibility, very colorful most times of the year. Even at Christmas they come out and do some decorating out there. The second city-sponsored garden is the Raps Barren Settlement at Cooper Park, okay? There's some native plants there, and the Shotgun Cabin as well, where they have some gardens. This year we have some exciting developments there. A new medicine wheel garden has been planted there, okay? The medicine wheel garden, you're planting plants either for color or for different sentiments depending on what you want to do, okay? Our third city-sponsored project is the Callista Willette Nature Trail and Native Garden at the newly renamed Callista Willette Park. And that is an entirely native plant garden. It's located about a tenth of a mile walk in at the park, okay? It's in a meadow next to a pond, and we have over 100 varieties of different trees, shrubs, perennial and annual plants over there, okay? Last year, the city sponsored us in planting some new trees. We planted a serviceberry, a yellowwood, and a Carolina silver bells, okay? Then we move on to the different gardens within the county. We have several display gardens at the Bull Shoals White River State Park. Those are funded by the state park, okay? And their new thing this year is a culinary herb garden that is being added near the trout dock. They also plant and maintain the garden at the big spring over there, okay? For a moment here, I'm going to defer back to Karen. We have a facility at the fish hatchery of which she's co-chairman.
Yeah, out at the fish hatchery in front of the visitors center is a very, very sunny site that has deer, and we were asked to help improve the looks of the building. So this was a garden that we designed. It's our most recent garden, and it's finally become mature. I invite people to go out and look. It is native plants. That's the emphasis on that one. These plants have to be tough because they do get browsed by the deer. So if anybody else has that problem, I invite you to come out and look.
Talk a little bit about the native, excuse me, the native plants of Arkansas. What would we be looking for?
Well, the reason you look for a native plant is because you want something that's going to grow. There are so many beautiful plants in the world that are advertised for, they come from New England, or they come from Florida, or they come from Oregon, and they are gorgeous and they may grow here, but it's costly, and they don't always survive our climate. Our climate is peculiar. We're high. We have a odd rainfall. Right now we're having a very wet spring, but I'll bet you we're going to be in drought sometime during this year. It is not going to rain. It's going to be very, very hot and humid. A lot of plants can't handle that. We have wildlife that likes to eat things that people who live in cities don't have. We also have bugs and funguses because of the heat and humidity that a lot of places don't have. And our springs are very interesting. Everybody remembers the big freeze where we lost, the Easter freeze, where we lost all the leaves off everything. Our springs tend to be warm and then cold, and warm and then cold. And some of these plants we get from outstate can't handle that. It's very, very hard to get those pom-pom hydrangeas to bloom. They probably aren't going to bloom this year. They didn't bloom last year. They're living, but they bloom on buds that were set the year before, and the frost killed them. So the reason you want native plants, and that's what Seal's been mentioning, is because they're adapted. They know how to handle that. So when you get some of them, they're going to make it. So if you're a lazy gardener, and I work like the devil, but I only want to do it once, go for a native plant.
And if you want to see a colorful display in native plants, I encourage you to come to the Callisto Willette Park that we talked about just a little bit ago. It is our largest project in terms of square footage that we're maintaining, and very colorful display all 3 seasons, and interest in the winter as well. So if you're, again, have a weak spot in your garden, it's a good place to go when your garden is weak. Take a walk. It's not a long walk, and it's very colorful, and you can see what's going on there. We also have a brochure that we've made with a list of the plants that we keep at the entrance to the park. So it's a good reference for items that you might want to put in and research for your own garden.
And that's a good point. We've got most of the gardens labeled. So if you see something you like.
Absolutely. And if you don't, ask a master gardener.
Yes.
Okay. We have a website, BaxterCountyMG.com. Okay. Now you think I would remember that without stumbling, wouldn't you? Okay. I'd like to go on to the 2 last projects that we maintain. Okay. We maintain the county fairgrounds at the a county fairgrounds garden outside the education building at the county fairgrounds, okay? Again, it's a good display garden with lots of visibility, and I think people there probably know we do that one, okay? And then at the First Presbyterian Church over across the street from Cooper Park, we maintain memorial gardens over there. They're doing a lot of redesigning this year. Later this week, they're going to be planting, I think, well over 60 different plants there to dress that up. And
they have opened that to the public, by the way. That's
Yeah.
not a private garden anymore.
No, it's a little courtyard garden right in front of the church, okay? Very colorful, and we do have our monthly meetings there, which we'll talk about just a little later, okay? We also have a lot of different special events, some open to the public, okay? One of our larger events is what we call our Spring Gardening Seminar, and next year it's going to be held on March 12th, okay? And in that event, it comes at a time of the year when you're kind of itching to get outside and get your fingers dirty and all that kind of stuff, but the weather isn't always cooperating. We bring in 5 speakers, some local, some from elsewhere in the state, for a day to get together and talk about gardening, okay? Very nice presentations, very professional presentations about any variety of topics. They will talk about composting. They will talk about which plants to plant where, and if you want color, and if you're worried about deer, and all those questions that you have. There's always time with each of the speakers for interaction, for questions and answers, okay? Good audio-visual aids there, and we have great raffles with great gardening items for sale as well at the event, okay?
And lots of food.
And lots of food. Master gardeners come in, and our admission ticket to listen to the speakers is to bring something for people to eat. So you have everybody bringing in not only sweets, but food that might actually be good for you, okay? And lunch is served. It's something that goes from 8:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. But it's a good fellowship, a good way to meet people that are interested in the same things that you are, and get some of your questions answered. If any of our speakers are published, they will be there to sell and autograph their books as well. So kind of a nice way to get together at a time of the year that you're getting itchy to be in the garden, okay? Every year we also have a spring plant sale. It's generally held the last weekend in April, depending, okay? And at that event, master gardeners are encouraged to go into their gardens, and where they need to divide plants and such, they're encouraged to pot them up and bring them out. So you see any variety of things. You're going to see herbs, annuals, biennials, perennials. You could see a couple of shrubs and baby trees as well. With the Master Gardener membership, we have over 100 people in the organization, and you can get any type of unusual or common plant at these sales at a very, very reasonable price. The sale is held at the fairgrounds in the education building. So I encourage you next year. This year it was just April 25th, and it'll probably be right around the same time next year. If you watch the newspapers and the radio stations, it's always published, and we encourage you to come. You can come and get some very nice things for a very reasonable price. And if you're a Master Gardener member, at our May regular meeting, we have a plant swap where the same thing is done, but again, it's just among members, and so we're just exchanging items between each other, okay? Again, a good way to build your garden without a big investment, okay?
About another minute before we go to break. No, I'm enjoying the conversation. I've enjoyed listening. I've looked at the clock. I've got about another minute before the theme song hits. So your final thought on this section here.
Okay. I'll talk about the farmers market when we come back, but I encourage everybody to think about membership in Master Gardeners. In a little bit, Phyllis will talk about some of that, but while he's playing the commercials and stuff, think about what it might be like to join a group like us. Listen to the things we've talked about doing, how you might like to get your hands dirty and that kind of thing, okay? It's a great organization, a lot of camaraderie,
like it. Yeah.
a lot of good education without feeling like you're going to school, if that makes any sense, okay? Okay.
You can.
Something to say else about the plant sale is if you have questions, you can ask them then.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that we sell will grow here.
Good
I have
That's
personally
encouraging.
found things that won't.
I'm good at growing weeds.
I think we all do a good job at that.
We were talking about whether you're a Mullen fan or not out in the lobby.
We're visiting with the Master Gardeners of Baxter County. We have Karen Tipton, Seal Gasecki, and Phyllis Henley. I'll get it right one of these days. Time for the morning news. We'll be right back. "7:35 on this Tuesday. We're visiting with the Master Gardeners of Baxter County. Karen, Seal, and Phyllis are here. And I didn't even know this was going on. I've only lived here 40 some odd years.
Oh, then we need you to become a master gardener. Phyllis is here to tell you how.
All right, Phyllis.
Well, since you've listened to Karen and Seal, now everybody's ready to get their hands dirty, right?
Right.
Mine are usually dirty. I come into the kitchen and I have dirty hands. I'm one of the new kids on the block. I joined Master Gardeners in 2013. So it's been a really fun thing for me. The saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. So you get to meet all these people that are into digging in the dirt and growing plants. So it's become a very educational and fun group of people to be around. For those who are interested in becoming a master gardener, there is a class starting somewhere around the middle of October, and it ends around the middle of November. It ends before Thanksgiving, so you don't have to worry about that part. It's 1 day a week for 5 weeks, and it's very doable. It's not very taxing or overbearing. There's a variety of speakers and subjects. They cover things from your soil. You have an opportunity to get samples of your soil in various places and have it taken to an area and a lab, and you find out what kind of soil you have. There's information on pesticides, what to use and what not to use. Information on fruits, vegetable gardening, lawns. Of course, there's a lot of information on flowers, perennials, and annuals. There's everything from A to Z in these classes, and you also end up with this huge resource book. I don't know how thick it is. It might be 6 inches thick, but it's very big. It's very heavy. So if you're interested, I would encourage you to sign up. You could either call Mark Keaton at 425-2335 or the Baxter County MasterGardener.com, BaxterCountyMG.com. You can go there and you can sign up. There is also a monthly newsletter that anyone can participate as far as reading. There's no extra charge. It's there for your convenience, and you can get that information on the website.
The newsletter has a lot of good source of information. Master Gardeners every month share recipes and such. There's articles pertinent to what's going on currently in the environment in the newsletter. And I encourage folks, if you have any interest in gardening, whether you want to be a master gardener or not, do subscribe to the newsletter. It's free, it's online, it's easy to use, it's very professionally done, and I would encourage you to use it and to look into it. Even if you don't become a master gardener, you will learn something from the newsletters.
Now, I'm going to ask you the dumbest question of the day. To me, there'd be two types of gardeners. One that grows the vegetable type garden, one that would be in the flower garden, or it could be both. So you may have 3 different types. Like I say, I've got a greasy thumb, not a green thumb, so, and sometimes I couldn't, I mean, I can tell you Carter AFB carburetor from Rochester, but I can't tell one plant source from the other because, I've been so long in one field, I haven't paid any attention to the other. But now, if I'm working in a garden, what would be good for a flower garden? What's good for my vegetable garden? Is that where y'all come in and say, here's what we can do in Arkansas, in this part of Arkansas, Missouri?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And we have both kinds of gardeners. If you have a group of people who are interested and have questions, ask for a speaker. Tell us what you're interested in, and we'll arrange for somebody who talks your language. If you have specific questions about a plant, come to the farmer's market and ask. Come to one of our information booths at the box stores. Grab a master gardener as we're out there working. You can usually tell us by the unattractive posture with the rear end facing the road at the extension office. Or you can look for these green shirts.
Yeah.
Or call the extension office and they'll refer your question to a master gardener if they don't have the answer right off.
The farmers market, we participate in the farmers market the first Saturday of every month, okay? And this month on June 6th, the topics they're going to be focused on, though you're not limited to, is raised bed gardening and specifically tomato diseases that affect your plants right now.
Yeah.
So you've got people there to ask questions to. We also do something for the children. We're going to have a giveaway of hen and chicks plants, which is a succulent plant, something that doesn't need a lot of care and is easy to grow in a dry environment. So there's people there to ask questions of every month, okay? So if you're just strolling through and the people next door are selling tomato plants, you can talk to the master gardeners about the tomato plants, okay? So there's plenty of places to go and ask questions and get the information that you need, okay?
But if you really want to learn, if you really want to know these things, become a master gardener. Most of us became master gardeners because we did not know the answers.
Really?
And the training is wonderful. Our opportunities for learning are ongoing. And actually, we are required to do 10 hours of learning every year.
That's not
So
much.
it's not over. It's not
20.
excessive. 20.
20 hours.
20 hours.
20 hours
Sorry.
of learning, okay?
Okay,
You're
I've
requi-
only been a master gardener for 10 years.
Every year we have to put 20 years of volunteer
20
time.
hours.
20, 20, listen
See,
to
you
me,
did.
20 years now. Well, that would be hard to do. Every year we have to put 20 and 20, 20 volunteer, 20 education. It's not as quite as onerous as that seems, though, okay? We have 10 meetings a year where you get credit for 1 hour of education and 1 hour of work, of volunteer time. If you're not able to volunteer on one of the projects we talked about, because maybe your body can't do that kind of thing, there are plenty of other things that you can do volunteer-wise. Help with the computer things, okay? There
Come
are
talk on the radio.
come talk on the radio. All of that is volunteer time. We're all going to get credit for this time in that respect. So there's plenty of things to do that no matter what your capabilities or abilities that you're able to do. The only other requirement is the first year that you, after you take the class, instead of 20 hours of volunteer time, you need to put in 40. That's your payback for all the education that you got, okay? The only thing you're paying for in terms of the education is the materials that you're taking home, okay? So it's something easy for everyone to do.
Now, is there any competition between the master gardeners to see? Let's say that you have a flower garden competition between the members. You know, in Mountain Home we have like a tour of homes, or we can tour the. I'd like to say, and I think they do that down in Mountain View. We get some PSAs about the garden tours down there. Do we have something like that where we can see what's going on?
We do that for our members, but we're all very shy.
I can
Opening this
right.
to the public. Oh, I'm just basically a shy retiring, and just nobody's ever believed it, except my mother-in-law, bless her heart. But yes, we do that for each other, and even that is somewhat nerve-wracking, frankly. Some of the master gardeners in other counties do have tours as a fundraiser, open them to the public. One of the things that SEAL is going to do is go to the state meeting. That this year, every year there is a state master gardener meeting that master gardeners only get to go to. It's in a different part of the state. Janet Carson is always there. And it's an opportunity for learning, but they do garden tours also that arrange for you to see things. I've seen things in Magnolia, in Fayetteville, in West Memphis, which I have never thought of as a garden spot of the
West
world.
Memphis?
And West Memphis is gorgeous. when you go to the Master Gardener sections.
Wow.
There's a lot of camaraderie among the membership as well, okay? Gardeners as a nature are willing to share, okay? When you split plants, you're sharing. You're willing to share your plants, you're willing to share your knowledge, you're willing to share your time. And I have found among the Master Gardeners that no matter what I asked, whether it be gardening questions or other questions because I was new to the area, if you're new to the area, joining a club like this is great. You've got over 100 members that are interested in something you are. I have also found in the last year or so that many of the members are members of other organizations with things that I enjoy doing. So when I go join another club, I walk in and I find like I always know somebody.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
It's a great way to network and learn the community.
I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're visiting with the Master Gardeners of Baxter County. We'll be right back. 7:48. Oh, that's my favorite topic, talking about roads.
Yes.
We're visiting with the Baxter County Master Gardeners. Okay, I got some questions.
Okay.
Let's say that some folks have just done some remodeling and some additions to their home, and they want to do some re-landscaping. Can you all advise on landscape and the type of flowers and shrubs and stuff like that?
We certainly can. What we don't do is come out to your house and do a landscape plan.
Right. But you can advise on how to do
But
that.
we can certainly help you with the ideas on the plants and what you need to know to do your own plan. For instance, would you like to give some early guidelines?
Well, we don't do the work for folks. We give you the tools that
Sure.
allow you to do the job, okay? We have lots of literature that's available through the Extension Office, through the State Master Gardener website that will tell you what will grow here in terms of trees, shrubs, biennials, perennials, annuals, the things you need to know, the maintenance of those plants, the diseases they may or may not be prone to, okay? All the information is out there. Our motto, in one sense, might be helping others grow, okay? All right? Our job is to teach you how to be self-sufficient in it. And we don't come out and do what a landscaper would do for you and give you a plan.
Yeah.
That's not what we do. But we have plenty of resources to help you, and we are available for as many questions as you can think. I have a friend who's planting a vineyard and got very good information from Mark Keaton and the Extension Office to get himself started, as well as other resources. But the resources are there to help you do what you need to do to grow, okay?
Now, what about the soil? Let's say that you got folks in Gamelia or Clark Ridge or Three Brothers as compared to Mountain Home, Big Flat or something. Is there a difference in the soil across the county?
Arkansas has the best deal in the country on finding out about your soil.
Really?
Soil analysis in Arkansas doesn't cost.
Really?
So all anyone has to do to find out how to make your grass green, or whether you want to grow blueberries that take one kind of soil, or vegetables, is bring a sample that's about a quart bag of soil, no rocks, dug as far down as you can get from as many different places as you can find in the area you want analyzed, mix it all up, take it into the Extension Office. They'll send it off and bring you back a report that tells you what you need to do. And if your analysis request or your soil request says, I just want to grow things, they'll give you a general analysis. If you say, I want to grow blueberries, then they'll tell you what to add and how much of it to get it so blueberries will grow. And that's an easy thing to do.
And it's free.
That's
All you
good.
do is take the sample into the county extension office there on 5 South,
Yeah.
right adjacent to our display garden, and you take it in there and you'll get your information.
Because I
Most-
remember a Johnny Cash song where he said, it's on the album Ride This Train, where he says some of the soil in eastern Arkansas was so poor, you'd have to sit on a bag of fertilizer to raise an umbrella.
Well, I'm up on a ridge,
Are you?
and I'm told I have soil, but when I took my sample in to get it analyzed, and believe me, this was a little tough getting that much from where I live, its color was kind of light yellow. I always thought that soil, dirt, was dark,
Yeah.
and mine isn't.
Really.
I don't have much, so I used raised beds. Now there are people down in the river when they take theirs in, they can dig down, but what they have is sand. And this is all in Baxter County. We have a wide variety.
And if you're planting, say you're in an area that's been forested where you have a lot of leaves that have composted over time, you may have a very nice layer of topsoil on top of everything.
I'll bet
Right.
it's going to be thin.
It's it depends where you go, but I mean, every situation is different. There are many little microclimates within your own yard that need to be treated differently. But the Master Gardener program in the County Extension Office teaches you how to deal with all the differences. Okay?
Good.
Yeah.
We're down to the final 2 minutes. Final thoughts from everybody.
We encourage everybody to look into the Master Gardener program. We'd love to have you. We have brochures at the Extension office that you can pick up that'll give you more information. Visit the website, baxtercountymg.com. Take a look around. You can do that without any obligation or having to register your name or anything like that. Nobody's going to come chase you, but we'd love to have you. It's a fun organization. You learn a lot. And you have a good time in the process. So we encourage your membership.
And do remember, if it weren't fun, we wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
That
true.
girl.
Also, June the 11th, we'll be having our monthly Master Gardener meeting, and you're welcome to attend. It's at 1 p.m. at the Presbyterian Church on 1106 Spring Street at 1 p.m.
And that's
So
where one
join
of your
us.
gardens is located.
Yes, it is. So come see the garden and come to the meeting. You can come to the meetings for free, no obligation, see what we're all about. Make a friend, if nothing else.
This sounds good. Well, I'm thrilled to know that this even exists. Like I said, I've been here 40-something years and didn't know. And I'm sure a lot of folks have got some really good information. What about a phone number that somebody can call? Say, hey, I need more information. Or just go to the website, or do we need to call
You
somebody?
can call Mark Keaton at the Extension office.
What's that number again?
425-2335.
Fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
Thank you very
Well,
much for having us. We really
Well, it was my
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
And a lot of information. Let's see. The first Saturday of each month, you're on the square.
Right.
And see what else. Oh, and let's go over it real quick. I got 30 seconds here. You've got gardens at the corner of 5 at 62B,
Right.
and at the Rapsburn Settlement, and at Callista Willette Park.
Those are
And the
city gardens.
fairgrounds.
We got
Oh, and the fairgrounds,
We
yeah.
got the fairgrounds. We've got the hatchery. We've got the Memorial
Shoals.
Gardens and Bull Shoals Rivers.
Where's it at the hatchery? Trying to think.
Right in front of the visitor center. If
Really?
you see the raceways, at the end of the raceways to the left.
I'll have to go down there and check that out.
And they
Yeah.
also plant the sign right at the entrance as well.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad y'all were here.
Well, thank you very much.
Busy with the Master Gardeners of Baxter County. Karen, Seal, and Phyllis have been here today. I've learned a lot, and I hope you did too. That wraps it up. Hope you have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.